Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Alright, it's time to go back. Back to the beginning. Well, the very beginning, that is. We are now going to be in control of Mia once again as we experience her very first case in the episode Turnabout Beginnings. For the record, this is only a trial, and the trial only, it'll be a full episode, it'll be like a full, like a full episode. So we're almost done, just 2 more chapters to go, or 2 more episodes to go, and we are done with Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Alright, so it's time to take another trip to the past. Here we go. The girl. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer, and I'll kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. I'm reading through the old file of an old court case. It was the first case of my longtime mentor, Mia Fey. Her very first client was a death row inmate who had recently broken out of prison. That was a whole year before Mia and I ever met. Six years earlier, Mia Fey, first trial. Alright, here we go. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't read the whole file, I'm only reading the dialogue, but we see Phoenix in a hospital room? How did that happen? Well, we're gonna have to wait until the final episode to figure that out. Alright, so welcome back to the past. So this takes place 6 years earlier. 6 years before the events of the first game. Basically, Mia's second case was for 5 years, so we actually went back another year earlier. So this is Mia's debut as a lawyer. She worked very hard to get to where she is now. So let's see how her debut pays off. So here we go. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to die. I never should have accepted this case. Good morning. Don't be so jumpy, Mia. I didn't do nothing. I swear, I didn't kill nobody. Terry Fallis, my first client. Sentenced to death 5 years ago, and now a prison escapee. Just relax, Mia. Make small talk and try to relax him. So why did you escape anyway? I'm sorry. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. I didn't escape from nowhere. But Mr. Fallis, the police just recaptured you 2 days ago. Sorry. I told a little lie. Oh boy. But anyway, I didn't do it. I never killed I never killed nobody. Sorry for asking, but you're on death row, right? I'm really sorry. They sentenced me to die 5 years ago, but I was tricked, I tell you. That woman, she lied in her testimony. That's why I got of a death penalty. All will be revealed during this case, so bear with me on this. No spoilers, by the way. I won't be spoiling anything. I'll let the game present itself. I swear, I swear it. I didn't kill her. I could never do that. 2 days ago, he escaped from the police wagon when it crashed. Then, about 8 hours later, a woman was murdered before the police could recapture him. The police believed that Terry Fallis did it. After you escaped, did you meet a police woman? Yeah, I did. She's the reason I escaped. So that much is true. He did meet with the victim. But I didn't kill her. She was alive when I left. She was alive. It's true. I can trust him, right? I mean, I should. You're not going to figure out the truth by just starting, sorry. You're not going to figure out the truth by just staring at the guy. Why are you here? I came to see how our little kitten was doing all alone in the big scary lion's den. I thought maybe you'd like someone to play with. Where's Mr. Grossberg? That old man is probably still in bed. I bet he's clutching an empty bottle and mumbling in his sleep. Aren't I good enough? After all, it's me, Diego Armando. If you're wondering why aren't I using a Spanish accent, no, I ain't doing it. I mean, I'll just do that like a little piece. Aren't I good enough? After all, it is me, Diego Armando. No, forget it. I ain't doing that. I'm just gonna, do the way I've always done with his other self, Godot. So, if you're thinking I'm gonna do a Spanish accent, forget it. I didn't say. So, Diego Armando, the finest attorney at Grossberg Law Offices, is here for me? No. You've got it all wrong. Today, you're the finest. Not quite of what you think. Actually, he's talking about, well, you know, how she looks like. After all, it took an amazing amount of guts to take this case. Imagine an escaped death row convict for a first client. Yeah, thanks. I'm sure I wish I could. I sure wish I could get out of it, though. Ha! Relax. I just heard some good news. The prosecutor for today is fresh out of his diapers as well. Really? However, unlike a certain somebody who I won't mention, he's earned the reputation as a genius since beginning his law career. Genius? Well, it's about time to head in, kitten. Sharpen those claws of yours. It's go time. A solitary confinement cell for the condemned must be the world's loneliest place. And that's what my client ran away from. Every other lawyer gave up on him, but not me. When I saw those overflowing eyes and heard that simple, childlike voice, I just had the feeling that he was telling the truth. So yeah, this is our client, Terry Fallis, escaped convict, but is framed for a crime he didn't commit. So, yeah, he is a death row inmate. So, unfortunately, he's being tried for another crime So, so as I said, we are back in control of Mia Fey to prove his innocence in this situation. Court is now in session for the trial of Terry Fallis. So yeah, the judge of this time is the younger brother. So yeah, keep that in mind. If it's the older brother, then I will change the voice of the judge like I normally do. But for now, this is the younger brother. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. And oh my goodness, my volume is loud. All right, here we go. I understand the lawyers for both sides are newcomers. Yes, Your Honor. I'm Mia Fey. Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. So you're the new prosecutor everyone is talking about, eh? They say you joined the prosecutor's office at quite an early age. At 20, Your Honor. I guess our little kitten hasn't earned herself much of a reputation yet, huh? Come on, Mia. You can't lose. Not to someone younger than you. Young people running a trial? I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Get used to it, Judge. Get used to it. Now then, the defendant in this case is currently a felon on death row. 2 days ago, he escaped from a police wagon. Is that correct? Precisely. But the defendant is not on trial for escaping prison. On the day the defendant escaped, a policewoman was murdered. So we're here to determine if Mr. Fallis was responsible for her death? You got it, kitten. Well then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's hear your opening statement. Yes, Your Honor. It was 5 years ago. The defendant, Terry Fallis, was sentenced to death in this very court. His crimes were kidnapping, extortion, and murder. The girl he threw off the bridge was only 14 years old. A truly horrible crime. I remember it well. There was no decisive evidence, so the trial was long and protracted. Correct. But in the end, what finally decided the case was a certain witness's testimony. Oh, a witness's testimony? A testimony of Detective Valerie Hawthorne, the person who confronted this criminal. She arrested Mr. Fallis at the scene and later testified against him. She said she witnessed Mr. Fallis throw his young victim into the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. So Miss Hawthorne's testimony was the one that put him away. That police a woman you just mentioned, that wouldn't be exactly the victim. Sorry, exactly the victim. The same woman that was killed 2 days ago. Police Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne. Oh, sorry. Aha, I see. The man who was sentenced to death based on her testimony escaped 2 days ago, with only one thing on his mind: to take revenge against the woman who convicted him. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes. Sorry, couldn't help it. It's quite obvious that the defendant is guilty. Seriously, Judge, what is the matter with you? The trial has barely started, and you're basically giving your verdict out already? Man, no. Wonder your older brother's much better than you. Ay, ay, ay. Este tonto. Anyways, wait a minute. That's not right. At least hear the case before you decide on the outcome, Your Honor. I should smack you upside the head. Man, for a judge, you really are dumb. Watch yourself, Miss Faye. I'm not sure I care for your word choice or your tone of voice. She has every right to complain. Man, who are you? You may be a judge, but you have to see a trial to the very end. Don't just jump to conclusions. Like I said, you deserve to get either two things: smacked upside the head or your beard cut off. Jeez, man, what is wrong with you? Young people these days simply don't know how to respect their elders. You are 20 years old, Edgeworth. You're still a child. You are still a child. Anyways. Why, you're even younger than me, you hypocrite. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, please call your first witness. I call a detective who was in charge of the initial investigation of this case. You know who that is? Witness, state your name and occupation. Gumshoe, Dick Gumshoe. I'm the homicide detective in charge of the case, sir. I finally got promoted to the detective division half a year ago. I don't believe anyone asked you about that. Well, Mia, he had to, because he just got promoted. So yeah, he had to. Otherwise, he would have just said, Officer Gumshoe. So, yeah. He had to let them know that he just became a detective. Otherwise, yeah. Hey, ma'am, you got any idea how much work it takes? What is it? You're really gorgeous. Excuse me? No, seriously, my heart, it's aching for you. Detective, pull yourself together and try to be a professional. Otherwise, hey, he's a guy, can't help it. Even I find Mia Faye cute. Oh, write you up on contempt so quick that something other than your heart will ache. Okay, I got it. Now, detective, tell us about the incident. Yes, sir. Right away. The victim was Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne, a veteran on the police force. She was stabbed in the back with a knife and died from excessive blood loss. That much is already stated in the autopsy report. The court would like to hear more details about the incident itself. Yes, sir. I gotcha. Okay. Let's take a look at this aerial map of the area here. This is a sketch of the Dusky Bridge, an old suspension bridge. And the river that runs under there is Eagle River. The victim and the defendant met there, on top of the bridge. After stabbing her in the back, the killer carried the victim back to his car. He was recaptured at a police checkpoint as he was trying to make his getaway, sir. I see. Don't jump to conclusions, Judge. Don't jump to conclusions. That's all I gotta say. 'Cause you'll look like a fool if you jump to conclusions. Alright, so we get our first piece of evidence, the Dusky Bridge map. Oh yeah, and also the autopsy report, which, let's take a look at it real quick. Stabbed with a knife in the back. Died from blood loss between 4 and 5 p.m. Alright, that's all we need to know. Yeah, let's. It doesn't have Mia's picture though. But yeah, Miles Edgeworth. This is his debut case, and he's only 20 years old. A genius, yes, but thinks he's better than everyone. He's full of it. Well, at the time, but now we all know what he's been going through. We all saw it in previous games. So yeah, if this was when he was like a really big jerk at the time, because who do you think trained him to be a prosecutor? Yeah. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Was the victim's blood found on the bridge? The victim's Sergeant Valerie Hawthorne was wearing a thick coat, sir. Unfortunately, no traces of blood were found on the bridge. Mr. Edgeworth, I warn you that I absolutely despise conjecture. If there was no blood on the bridge, then you have no proof that they even met there. Your Honor, if you would listen to the testimony we have prepared, I'm sure you'll be convinced. The two of them most certainly did meet on the bridge that day. Why, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm not sure I like you wagging your finger at me as though I were some hoser. Well, he's not wrong. Well, you're full of yourself, Judge. Detective, proceed with your testimony. Yes, sir. Here we go, Mia. Hang on. Okay, now. Listen carefully, kitten. One little mistake and this guy will drink you for morning tea. Trust me, and get ready. Alright, testimony number 1. Summary of the incident. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. Sergeant Hawthorne went to the Dusky Bridge at the designated time and met with Mr. Fawless. And that's where she was brutally murdered, sir. The criminals stuffed her body into his car trunk and tried to make a getaway. Mr. Fawless was arrested at a police checkpoint we set up at the base of the mountain. On the day of the incident, an unknown person phoned the sergeant and asked to meet. I'm going to have to press on that. That and a few other and another statement, but we'll get to that. Well, you certainly have established the importance of the bridge. Naturally. Now, would the defense please hurry up and proceed with the cross-examination? Again, you should get smacked upside the head. Either be fair or get out of the judge's seat and have your older brother do this. Though I'm not sure if he's going to act the same way he did, but anyways. Yes, Your Honor. Cross-examination coming right up. Hey, settle down there, kitten. If you keep trembling like that, you're going to make me spill my coffee. I'm not trembling. It's just cold in here. The courtroom can be cold. The courtroom can be a cold battlefield, all right. Especially for a beginner. I need you to worry about me. The defendant, the witness, everyone's a beginner in here. Well, that is true, because remember, Detective Gumshoe is barely just became a detective for about half a year now, so. And Miles Edgeworth is making his debut. Mia Fey also making her debut. So yeah. Everyone in this courtroom as of right now is a beginner, though I'm not sure about Diego Armando here and the judge. But maybe you should keep your claws out and show them what you've got, kitten. It's okay, Mia. Stay calm. Just remember those procedure videos you stayed up all night. Well, up all last night watching. Alright, here we go. Cross-examination time. Alright, so, basically right here, this is the first one. So I'm gonna press. This unknown person, you have no idea who it might be, right? Sorry, but I'm afraid I do. What? The one who called Sergeant Hawthorne was the defendant, Terry Fallis. What? The defendant? The defendant called her? Sergeant Hawthorne was a very thorough person, sir. She left a note about her phone call with Mr. Fallis. A note? Yeah, a top secret memo that she left on her desk, and we get the victim's note. So let's take a look at it real quick. All right, the victim's note: confidential police materials written by the victim. Okay, we can check. February 14th at 1:21 p.m. Fallis, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear a white scarf for identification. Okay, then let's talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. Alright, here we go. Let's go back. According to this note, it seems the one who called her to the bridge was indeed the defendant, Terry Fallis. Whose bright idea was it to keep that note from me? Looks like the judge is even more sure of his verdict now. Listen up. Never ask a question if you don't already know the answer. It's that detective's fault. He's the one that said unknown person. Hey now, don't make that face at me. I just said it that way because the prosecutor told me to. Was that a trap? With that cute face, I didn't expect him to be so sneaky. Sergeant Hawthorne. Oh, sorry. Alright, so I'm gonna go to where it says the criminal stuffed her body. Alright, here we go. Let's press. Mr. Fallis had a car then? Well, that bridge is way up in the mountains, ma'am. The defendant and the victim both went up there by car. I mean, how else, right? What? You mean the defendant drove his own car? No, of course not. It was stolen. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light. Car thieves? I'm not sure how I feel about car thieves. Is this guy sure about how he feels about anything? This is a photo of the stolen car's trunk. Naturally, that's the body of Valerie Hawthorne in there. Whoa, that doesn't look too comfortable. Alright, so we get our next piece of evidence, the crime photo, which features the back of a car, the trunk of a car where Valerie Hawthorne is there. The victim, she was stabbed in the back, correct? Yeah. For some reason, men always seem to get stabbed in the back. We're talking about a woman here. You can't tell from this photo, but the knife was stuck in her back, nice and firm. The condition of the body when it was discovered is a very important information. A detective Was there anything strange and or noteworthy in the trunk of the car? Here's a photo of the trunk, but I don't see anything strange, do you? Anyway, yeah, about that. Yeah, that was a new statement there. All right, so let's present the victim's note. Witness. What is it? Do you have something to say, Miss Faye? That rhymed. I'm sorry. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. This is the first time I've ever had to actually address someone like that. You should have practiced before coming to court. Well, she has. Earlier, she mentioned she was watching all those court videos. But, you know, this is the first time she's doing this, so, hey, it's natural. Honestly, Miss Faye, I'm not sure I like this. Stay there, a little kitten. Want a piece of my coffee candy? Candy? Well, you're still too young to be drinking real coffee. Come on, Mia, shake it off. You're a lawyer. The detective. Yes, ma'am. This photo. You said that there was nothing peculiar about it. Is that correct? Yeah, that's what I said. Well then, I suggest you take another look at the note written by the victim. The note? It it very clearly says, wear white scarf for identification. The caller must have forgotten what the victim looked like. Thus, this special request. I have one simple question for you, detective. Where is the white scarf? I can't seem to find it in this photo. Well, to be honest, we didn't find it in the trunk, ma'am. And you stopped there. You should have looked for it. The caller told her to wear it to identify herself. So I didn't expect she did just that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do you have to say about this? I see the defense is a little lacking. The scarf you are searching for so desperately, is it this one perchance? Where'd you find that, sir? On the Dusky Bridge. I was there first and decided to conduct my own investigation. Why? Why didn't you tell me? I made a decision to keep all pieces of evidence in my personal satchel. It's the safest place I know. That hotshot sure has a flair for the dramatic. It's not exactly white, as the color requested, but as you can see, it's close enough for what it was intended for. It looks like it spent some time in the mud. Not surprising. It was drizzling on the mountain that day. Prosecutor Edgeworth, he was intentionally hiding that scarf the whole time. The court will accept the scarf into evidence. Alright. It's said to wear a white scarf, but yeah, it does look blue to me when you look at it. But I don't know. But anyways, worn by the victim at the time of the incident, found on the Dusky Bridge. Alright, so let's go back. Now, if the attorney for the defense is finished embarrassing herself, I'd like to move on with the testimony. That is all right with you, isn't it, Miss Faye? Boy, would I like to wrap this scarf around his smarmy little neck. Very good. Now, if we're done with this mud-covered scarf business, the prosecution moves to establish conclusively and with hard evidence that Miss Hawthorne and Mr. Fawless did indeed meet on the bridge that day. Further, we will show exactly what occurred there. That sounds quite promising. I can't wait to hear all about it. Everything is moving at his whim. Don't forget, kitten. There's a reason why everyone considers this kid a genius. A genius, huh? Alright. Testimony number 2. Events on the Dusky Bridge. Actually, there's an eyewitness who was there when the incident took place. This photo was accidentally taken by the witness. It shows her wearing the scarf, sir. It was drizzling that day. Unfortunately, it's a little hard to see what's going on. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. That must have been when the scarf fell off. On the part where it says anyway, I'm gonna you'll see. Looking at this photo, you really get the sense that this bridge is very high up. It is about a 40 feet drop from the bridge to the Eagle River down below. Mr. Edgeworth, who took this photo anyway? Let's just say that it was a well-intentioned third party. Aha, a potential witness. So why isn't this person in the courtroom? Well, they said they absolutely didn't want to testify. The person in question is very delicate, Your Honor. Why does that sound so familiar? Besides, as long as we have this photo, we see no reason to compel to compel her to testify. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, you should, cause we need to talk to this person who took the photo. We need more info. Need the info here. So, as you can see, Terry Fawless had both the motive and the opportunity. I think it's quite clear at this point what happened on that bridge. Aha! The truth is becoming clear to me now. Huh? Yes, it's quite obvious. He's clearly guilty. Can somebody bring me a pair of scissors or some clippers so I can shave this judge's beard off as punishment for saying something so dumb? Not again. That's not fair. I haven't even done my cross-examination yet. What do you mean by Alright, here we go. So when there's something I have to show, actually. Let's see. This part where the first word was anyway. Let's see. Alright. Anyway, the criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Let's present that crime photo. But first, let's take a look at it. A photo of the trunk of Fawless's car. Let's just present it. So at the time of the crime, there was a light drizzle coming down, correct? Yeah, and fog too. Just generally soggy atmosphere. Well, I have evidence that doesn't go with the soggy atmosphere. But this is a photo of the victim's body that was found in the car trunk. Considering the other conditions at the scene of the crime, something isn't right. Yeah, looking at the text dialogue, I know it's in red, but you can barely see. I mean, like if you were playing on an actual DS, doesn't matter, DS, DSi, 3DS, you know, you can see it just fine. But when it comes to emulation, like you're trying to see this from a big screen, it looks like it's kind of hard to see. Well, that's in my opinion. All right. Well, by all means, please enlighten us as to what isn't right. What is what is it about this photo of the trunk that doesn't fit with the conditions that day? Well, the coat. Shouldn't it be? Remember, she put it's not wet. Well, I don't know. It's been a long time since I played this game, so I'm just gonna point at the coat here. Naturally, the answer is right here. The victim's coat? As far as I can see, there's nothing strange about it. That's exactly what's strange. Remember the testimony. What were the conditions on the bridge that day? It was drizzling and foggy. The dusky bridge was all wet. If the victim really had fallen down on her stomach on top of the bridge, then the front of her coat should have been covered in mud. That's exactly right. The other day I fell on a muddy street and my gorgeous playoff beard was befouled. Could that explain the... No, never mind. I do admit the crime scene was quite wet that day. However, that doesn't mean the top of the bridge itself was muddy. If Your Honor had fallen in the shower instead of a muddy street, his glorious hockey beard pride of the legal league would be wet, not muddy. Fortunately, I have yet to test that. Still, your point is well taken. Can you prove that the surface of the bridge was muddy that day? The surface of the bridge, huh? A real man wouldn't stand for a taunt like this. Neither would a real woman. Of course I can. Here's the evidence that proves the surface of the bridge was muddy. Oh, here it is. The scarf. The evidence is this scarf. It should be obvious. If the scarf fell onto the bridge and got this muddy, it means that the bridge was obviously covered in mud. No, I can't be outwitted by this novice bimbo. You're a novice too, Edgeworth. So mouth shut on that. Hey, same to you, buddy. Miss Faye's assertion makes perfect sense to me. I do admit that there appears to be a contradiction between the condition of the victim's coat and her scarf. However, the real question is, why is there a contradiction? Huh? For every contradiction, there exists an explanation. Let's look at what the explanation in this case may be, shall we? All right. It's not like he's really giving me a choice here. Huh. You're doing pretty good for a little kitten. Mr. Armando! No matter what he says, a contradiction always comes down to a lie. It's either the victim covered in the trunk, the witnesses for photo showing the defendant and the victim, or the witness testimony that's stated she saw the moment of the murder. Just relax and think it over. It's pretty simple, isn't it? The false evidence? It's one of those three. What you said just now, I'm not sure I like that. That wasn't me, Your Honor. It was the coffee aficionado over there that said it. This court is not in the habit of accepting false evidence, you know. Blame it on him, Your Honor. He's the one trying to slip false evidence into the court. But we won't let him. We'll expose this evidence as the flimsy scam it really is. Yes, the false evidence of this case is the witness's testimony. It is a no-brainer. Obviously, it's the witness that's suspicious. During his earlier testimony, the detective pointed out a crucial fact. The criminal shoved the victim down from behind and stabbed her in the back. Now, is that testimony exactly what the witness claims to have seen? Yeah, that's what the witness told us. That testimony is filled with holes. After all, the victim's coat isn't dirty at all. That's true. It's not just true, it's the truth. If there was a truly decisive witness in this case, I'm certain that boy wonder over there would have called him in the first place. Your Honor, the defense requests to cross-examine the witness. The testimony presented so far is not only vague, but contradictory as well. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, it appears that we'll need to hear from your mystery witness after all. You should brace yourself for the brutal truth. Your Honor, the prosecution has no intention of hiding the witness from the court. We are prepared to present our witness at any time. Very well. Please bring forth your witness at this time. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of... Sorry, I gotta drink a little water real quick. My throat got dry for some reason. And stuttering. Alright. What Mr. Edgeworth said kind of worries me. What does he mean by the brutal truth? Now, let's proceed with the testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, please go right ahead. Thank you, Your Honor. The prosecution summons the woman who saw the events that day with her very own eyes. This is it, Mia. The battle begins here. And guess who it is? Witness, what is your name and occupation? That's right. Dahlia Hawthorne. Everyone is so silent that I can hear their hearts going pitter-patter. Oh, when I look at you, how can I put it? You look as scrumptious as a double-double and a dozen donut holes. I feel like I want to hurry up and hand down a verdict just to have a bite. Or you can call a recess. Oh my goodness. Anyways. Hey, not so fast. As I said before, this witness is very sensitive and delicate. I would ask the court to please exercise care when addressing her. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. You are a true gentleman. Miss Faye, you could learn a lot from this man. If he's such a gentleman, he sure doesn't act like one to me. Sir? Yes, my dear? This is my first time, so I'm sure I'll make a lot of mistakes. Anyway, I wanted to say I'm sorry for all the trouble I might cause. Not at all. It's no trouble at all. Now then, may we please have your name and occupation? My name is, Melissa Foster. Yeah, she's going by a false name here, but we all know who she is. If you've seen the first case, you already know you already know who she is by now. But for the first case, she goes by a different name. My name is now clearly she said as you can see. So my name is Melissa Foster. I'm a college student, a freshman in the literature department. You were on the scene when the unfortunate event occurred, correct? And you were the one who took this photo. Is that accurate? What? How can you be so mean? Now see here. What are you doing shoving that in her face like that? Huh? But it's just a photograph. It's not like it's something dangerous. Next time, I'll be forced to penalize you. I like this. I don't like the turn that this is taken. Is she staring at me? And you would be... Huh? I'm the defense lawyer. My name is Mia Fey. I see. So you are... Now then, young lady, could you please give us your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I'll do my best. Alright, here we go. Next testimony, and again I lost count. Anyway, though, witness's photograph. Here we go. I was using my camera to take some pictures of wildflowers. Then I noticed there were two people standing up on the suspension bridge. Suddenly, they just started fighting. That's when I hurried and took a photo that showed the crucial moment. And right after that, I called the police. Hmm. By the way, where were you standing when the incident occurred? I believe the map would be of help here. I was standing right over here. I was standing in a beautiful field surrounded by tall cliffs. So you took the photo from that location, eh? I brought the camera I was using at the time, just like Mr. Edgewood asked me to. Ho ho ho! What a cute camera, just like its owner. Man, they are really hypnotized by her. Oh, wow. Alright then, Miss Faye, time for your cross-examination. But I warn you, make the witness cry again and you'll feel the wrath of my gavel. Like brother. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna present some evidence here, so here we go. Let's see, where is the one I'm looking for? No, that's not it either. Here we go, that's when I hurried. So what I'm gonna do is present the crime photo here. Ah, here it is. Oh, I think I messed up. Yeah, I messed up there. Yes, I know, I messed up. Okay, here we go. Let's present and the witness's photo. Here we go. Wrong photo there. Witness? When you said you took a photo of the crucial moment, is this what you meant? Huh? All I can see in this photo are two people facing each other. You testified that you saw the two of them starting the fight. Normally, that's the kind of thing we would refer to as a crucial moment. Why haven't you presented a photo like that? Well, you see, the photo we presented was the only one there was. But if you really wanted to capture the crucial moment, then what happened next? You must have taken a photo of it. Yeah, that's true. Let's take a look at this picture here. Switch. All you see is just them staring at each other. That's it. That's pretty much it. All you see is just them staring at each other and talking while they were at it. But yeah, no actions. No punches, no shoving, no moving, because otherwise the picture would have been blurry, kinda. But you know, all right, let's go back. My apologies, young lady, but Miss Faye's assertion is not without a certain amount of merit. He can certainly downplay a situation, can he? I'm sorry. I'm a very bad girl. I used it all up. The film, I mean. You ran out of film? This photo was the last one. What? Unfortunately, that is the truth. I personally examined all of the photographs she took that day. All the other photos are the witness herself playing among the wildflowers. The witness herself? Then who took the photos? Yeah, keep in mind that some cameras have timers. Well, you see, my camera has a timer feature built into it. So you took photos of yourself? I remember taking some photos of myself once too. Please, no details. It seems that Miss Faith's assertion was not so decisive after all. Wait, just a minute. Well, if she had no film left, she couldn't very well take more pictures, eh? Miss Foster, perhaps then you could tell us about a different sort of photo. Photos of the incident that you took with your very own eyes. Mr. Edgeworth, you're quite the poet. Very well then. Let's get back to the cross-examination. Let's hear your thoughts on the fight that you witnessed. Yes, Mr. Judge. Boy, this guy is a real sucker for sweet talk. It looks like the other kitten in the room is the one that's getting all the attention. Yeah, it's sickening. All right, so we're back at the testimony here. So I'm gonna go to the part where it says she only got about 10 yards. Let's see. Where is it? Ah, here we go. She only got about 10 yards before she was stabbed in the back. Let's present them the map here. Witness, your testimony is a joke. Huh? What? But I just... Miss Faye, I thought I warned you not to make the witness cry. One short testimony and two bad contradictions. There's no possible excuse. You say that there were two contradictions? It's simple. Just take a look at the diagram of the area. According to her testimony, the two of them were in the middle of the bridge. But if they were, and the victim had turned around and tried to run, well then, she would have hit a dead end. You said 10 yards, but she couldn't have ran even 5. Because the Dusky Bridge is collapsed on that side. What does all this mean? It's very simple, Your Honor. This charming little witness told a charming little lie. That's all there is to it. This beautiful young lady has been lying to the court? Just a moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, allow me to personally apologize for the confusion. What do you mean? There's one major mistake in the diagram. What did you say? What are you referring to? It's all because this diagram was made after the incident occurred. It's a very old bridge. We couldn't find any official blueprints of it. So you're saying... I'm saying that even though this bridge is currently in disrepair, there's no evidence that can prove that the bridge was broken during the incident. That's ridiculous! You can't actually tell the condition of the bridge from this photo. I apologize to the court for not being more clear when I presented the evidence. That guy is good. Huh? What do you mean? He planned it from the beginning. He's a genius, all right. That the diagram of the bridge was his insurance policy. What? That coward! Well, Miss Fay, it seems you've once again made a reckless accusation. I'm so sorry. I should have been more careful myself. No. It wasn't your fault at all. Now then, shall we go on with the trial? I'd like to establish once and for all what it was that the witness actually saw. Indeed. All right, young lady. May I ask you to please proceed with your testimony? But it's so hard to go on. We're all on your side, Miss Foster. There's no need to worry. Just tell us what you saw. Yes, sir. Alright, next testimony. Running from the crime. Here we go. After he stabbed her in the back, he quickly picked her up in his arms. Then he carried her over to the car. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. He couldn't just leave the body on top of the bridge. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm only supposed to talk about what I saw. I suppose that was the only way he could measure. I'm sorry. Well, he can make sure the body stayed hidden. About that. Witnessing such violence must have been difficult. Yes, sir. I'm still shaken up. If he accepts this testimony as it is, we're finished. Don't say that. Oh, well, maybe I'll stop off at my favorite cafe on the way home. They make a really good mocha latte. This trial isn't over yet. That's what I'd like to hear. All right, Miss Fay. Your cross-examination, if you please. The contradiction is staring you right in the face, Mia. Go on the attack. All right. Here we go. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. I suppose that was the only way he could make sure the body stayed hidden. Let's present that map again. A killer not wanting his victim to be found? I can understand that. However, the idea of moving the body for that purpose is clearly odd. There was a much easier way to make sure the body wasn't found. Well, what is it? Take another look at the map of the area and you'll see how. There's a river right below the bridge. Earlier, Mr. Edgeworth pointed out something interesting about the river. For those who are not aware, Eagle River is well known for its powerful current. Most bodies that fall in are never recovered. In the kidnapping case 5 years ago, the victim's body was carried away and never found. If 10 murders were to occur at the same spot above Eagle River, you can bet your boots that every other killer would have tossed the body in the water. Order! 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 I'm not sure if I care for the way you put that, Miss Fay. but I must admit it does seem odd to not have thrown the body into the river. Well, Mr. Edgeworth? How sad. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try to... sorry. Perhaps Miss Fay would do well to try taking a dip in the river herself. After all, you claim to be such an expert in the ways of nature. What are you talking about? My point is that no matter how odd you may find the killer's method of body disposal, the fact is that this is what the killer did. None of your arguments have anything to do with what the witness saw. Quite true. Miss Fay, it seems that your assertion is without merit after all. But what the witness claims to have seen is totally ridiculous. Surely you can't deny that the body was found in the trunk of the car. That certainly consists with what the witness has told us. Please, witness, go on with your testimony. I'll try. All you have to do is tell us only what you saw. Otherwise, the mean lady might yell at you again. Who is he talking about? All right, I'll do my best. All right, so let's go to another statement here. This one, the killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. There's just one little problem. Let's take a look at the map. I know it'll be explained. Now, notice. Maybe I should have put added the cursor for from what you call it OBS Studio, but okay. So where it says Eagle River there, the words there, the land on to your left. That's where she took the picture. Now, she says the killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. How could she have known that when she was right here? You know what? I'll put up a circle there, but she was there in that spot looking at the scene of the crime, and the car was like at the beginning of the bridge. How could she seen that? The only way she would have seen the quote stolen car if she was somewhere around here where the car is, or behind one of these trees or something. But anyways, let's present the evidence. Well, Miss Foster, it looks like you've done it this time. Done what? Made a crucial mistake. A crucial mistake? Like what, Miss Fay? The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. You're saying you saw that, right? With your very own eyes. Yes. And? It's simple, Miss Foster. Take a look at the diagram. The place you claim to have taken the photo from that day is here. Do you see what I mean? Even if you try to see the car, the outcropping of rock is directly in the way. That's right, Miss Foster. From where you were standing, you could not have possibly seen the killer's car. I admit the diagram shows a large outcropping of rock. However, it isn't so tall. If it would stop her from seeing the car. That's right. It's not high at all. I was able to see his car just fine. I'm so sorry, but that just doesn't wash. I believe it was the witness who presented this as evidence to the court, yes? This is the location that the photo was taken from. You own your own photo tells the whole story. You can clearly see the left side of the bridge, but the outcropping that is being referred to is really more like a cliff. Ugh. Your view should have been completely cut off by this cliff, but still you claim to have been able to see the killer's car. No! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of all this ballyhoo? Anyways. Your Honor, don't jump to any hasty conclusions. The fact that the escapee fled into a stolen car was reported on the news. After witnessing a murder, I'm sure you can appreciate that the witness was very upset. She must have heard about the stolen car and convinced herself that she saw it. But she was repeatedly warned before starting her testimony. She was told to testify only about what she saw with her own eyes. Oh. Mr. Judge? What is it? I think I must have remembered things wrong. Hey, wait a minute. You can't just say that. Miss Faye, no one on the face of this planet is perfect. Neither are you, Edgeworth. Yes, indeed. Quite true. You know what they say? To err is human, to forgive divine. What? I'm inclined to give the benefit of the doubt to our witness here. What? That's not fair! Save the tears for later, kitten. Mr. Armando? Don't look back until the trial is over. Now is the time to go forward. But that wasn't fair. Okay, kitten. You need to relax. Then you need to remember the other kitten's testimony. The killer broke into the trunk of the stolen car and hid the body in there. So tell us, how did you know that? How did you know that he broke into the trunk? Aha! Until you can explain how you knew that, you're going to have a lot of very suspicious people on this side of the courtroom. Well, witness? Well, I'm certain that he broke into the trunk because there were marks left on the trunk lid. I'm certain they were scratch marks from when he broke into it. What? Let me see that photo. It's true. These certainly look like scratch marks around the keyhole. That's a very loud It's obvious that this trunk has been broken open. Well, Miss Faye, are you satisfied? The judge is on her side. I can't make any mistakes here. What she just said, is there a contradiction in there somewhere? It doesn't work. Keep in mind, she was behind a cliff cliff near the bridge where she took the picture. This one. Oops. She couldn't have seen that car. No way she couldn't have seen that car. So it doesn't work. Melissa Foster, it looks like you finally betrayed yourself. What? You said you were in a field taking photos of wildflowers, but even so, you knew about the scratches. The question is when? When did you get a chance to see those scratches? Finally, I finally got her. I'm getting pretty tired of waiting over here. Then perhaps it would be faster if Miss Fay explained herself. Your Honor, there's only one possible explanation. The reason the witness had seen the scratches was, well, she put the corpse in herself. There's only one way that the witness had the chance to see those scratches. Yes? What is it? Naturally, when she opened the trunk and stuffed the corpse in herself. The person who really hit the body in the trunk of the car was Melissa Foster. It was you that did it, wasn't it? That's ridiculous. I could never. It was the man in the prison guard. He's the one that. I don't think so, Miss Foster. If Mr. Fawless had been the one that put the corpse in the trunk, he would have simply used the car key. There was no need to break it open. But he stole the car. Yeah, but the keys were in that car. Because remember, there was a couple that was in that car. The car was running and it had the keys in the ignition. So when Fawless stole the car, the keys were still in the ignition when he drove away. So yeah. So let's take a look at sorry. Nope, not that one. Here we go. The crime photo. So as you can see, there were scratches on that keyhole. Terry Fawless had the keys, so he would have opened it without even having to scratch the keyhole, trying to pry it open. There would be no reason to try to pry that thing open, because he had the keys. So yeah, the only way those scratch marks existed if someone pried it open, and she would be the one responsible. Alright, so let's go back. But he stole the car. He stole it from a young couple that had been waiting at a red light, which means that the key would still have been in the ignition. Oh, I see. Thank you for telling us about the scratches, Miss Foster. Without that, we would never have uncovered the truth. It couldn't have been Mr. Fawless that put the body in the trunk. No! Preposterous! To even suggest that the witness put the body in there? If that were true, then how do you explain the photo she took? Well, hello! The camera had a timer. The corpse could only have been put in the trunk when the incident occurred. And we already know that at the time she was taking photographs. Now's your chance, Mia. finish this thing. On the contrary, I'm not so certain about that anymore, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to think too deeply about it. What I'm saying is the shutter for this may not have been pushed by Miss Foster herself. Because remember, Miss Foster, this is Melissa Foster's camera. It has a timer function in it. I don't think you can make a mistake about it. Take a look at her camera. It has a timer built into it. Even a mini tripod. Excuse me. Almost as if the camera was brought just to take this picture. What are you trying to say then, Miss Faye? That when the crime occurred, Miss Foster wasn't in the field as she claimed? Well, if she really did use the clock's auto timer... Excuse me, let me drink some water real quick. And I almost dropped my controller. Normally, I would use the keyboard, but no. Then the answer is yes. She was somewhere else. Exactly. She was not in the field. Would the defense please explain further? Listen, this is a crucial point. Where was Miss Foster when the incident occurred? In answering that question will also make clear Miss Foster's true identity. Well then, please answer this question. Where was Melissa Foster when the incident on the bridge occurred? Well, booyah. Naturally, the witness was right here, but that's where that's where the victim, Miss Hawthorne, was standing. Order! 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 Miss Faye, what on earth? Your Honor, if I may. After parting with the victim on the bridge, the defendant fled by car. But this would mean that there was no time to put the victim in the trunk. In other words, if someone put the body in the trunk, it could have only have been before the defendant met the victim. How asinine! Of course, Mr. Fawless met with the victim. The only person with the opportunity to have put the victim in the trunk is the same man that killed her, Terry Fawless. Yeah, about that. You still don't understand, do you, Mr. Edgeworth? But by the time that the witness photo was taken, the victim was already dead. The person in the photo was not Valerie Hawthorne. What? I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my entire life. Then who exactly is the victim in this photo? It's obvious, isn't it? It's your own witness. Huh? What? It's the only possible explanation. The woman that Mr. Fawless met on the bridge that day was not Valerie Hawthorne. It was you, Melissa Foster. Me? Let's remember that it was rainy and foggy on the mountain that day. Mr. Fawless himself believed that the woman in front of him was Valerie Hawthorne. But the defendant knew Valerie Hawthorne very well. After all, she was the woman whose testimony helped get him convicted. But since then, my client has spent 5 hard years in a federal penitentiary. He couldn't remember exactly what she looked like anymore. You are just making this up as you go along. Where's your proof? I got it all right here. This piece of evidence will blow this case wide open. At the time of the incident, Mr. Fawless had forgotten what Valerie Hawthorne looked like, because take a look at the witness's, the victim's note. February 14th, 1:21 p.m. Fawless, 4:30 p.m. at that bridge. Wear white scarf for identification. And then the next one. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out. So who is this Dahlia person? Well, we're about to meet her right now. Mr. Fawless had forgotten the victim's face. That's why he needed some piece of identification, namely this muddy scarf. It was Mr. Fawless who requested that she wear this scarf to identify herself. That's already been proven by the note the victim left. In other words, as long as you were wearing a scarf like he asked, anyone could have pretended to be Valerie Hawthorne. Well, what do you have to say about that, Melissa Foster? No! She fainted. She fainted. Where's Miss Foster? She's collecting herself in the lobby. It's obvious that Melissa Foster did it. She hit the body in the trunk and disguised herself as the victim. She set up the camera to snap a fake photo of them together. The only question is, why did she do it? Well, isn't that obvious? She's the true criminal. Well, we'll have to wait for Miss Foster to compose herself before we start again. Until then, this court is in recess. The defense and the prosecution are instructed to wait in the lobby. Yes, Your Honor. Understood. Very well. This court is in recess. Oh, wow. We're not done yet. Oh no, we are not done yet. Alright, I'm going to take a little break and I'll be right back. So, cut. Okay, I'm back. Alright, here we go. Let the second half begin. Here we go. Save the game. Gotta save the game. Alright, so we're back at the lobby. Mr. Fawless, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to say thanks. You're really good. You really hooked me up. Thanks. We're almost there. Once I prove she committed the crime? Yeah, but there's one more big obstacle we gotta get past. Obstacle? Yeah, motive. Why would Melissa Foster kill that policewoman anyway? Motive, huh? Anyway, we're still badly in need of information. Information? Right. What we need the most is info about this Alyssa Foster herself. All we know is that she's a student studying literature. And one more thing. What is it? Well, the incident that happened 5 years ago, of course. The kidnapping murder case that Zebra Boy is on death row for. I didn't do nothing. I didn't kill nobody. I never lie. Mr. Follis, in that case, tell us more about it. About what happened 5 years ago. Okay, I trust you. That day, 5 years ago, sorry. Restart. That day, about 5 years ago, I dream of it every day. This picture, it reminds me everything. Bridge looks same, just like then, 5 years ago. Like it could fall apart any minute. So it's been broken like that for at least 5 years? Sorry, buddy, but you sound like the one that could fall apart at any time. It's true. I did kidnap her. 5 years ago, I kidnapped my girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. Your girlfriend? Huh? Hey, hold on there. Did you just say Hawthorne? The victim's last name. Dahlia Hawthorne. Valerie's a little sister. What? Are you serious? The girl. Let her go. Shut up. Come closer and I kill her. Sorry, but you're not going to get the chance. The detective back then was Valerie Hawthorne. At first I thought shooting someone for a kidnapping was crossing the line, but if it was to protect her little sister, I can understand why she did it. Wrong. No protect sister. Valerie betrayed me. Betray us. What do you mean by she betrayed you? Everything. All lies. All make-believe. Kidnapping too. A make-believe kidnapping? Dahlia, my girlfriend, my love, my teen angel. Did he actually say my teen angel? He's seen one too many soap operas. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. Anything Dahlia says? Hold on a minute. What you're saying is the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia, and Valerie too. Valerie was in on it? Dahlia's family rich. Jewelry business. We get one jewel. That's what we thought. Me and Dahlia wrote kidnap note. We sent to her dad. Asked for $2 million diamond. Tell him make exchange on the ski bridge. We tell him Valerie make transfer because she knew a detective. Having a police a detective in your pocket is a useful thing, all right. In the end, You were planning on splitting the 2 million 3 ways, huh? Yeah, but that woman. That woman, Valerie, she do it for real. She shoot at me for real. Me and Dahlia. I was shot in arm. Dahlia, she jumped in river. Jump? You don't mean she jumped on purpose, do you? I couldn't do it. I could never push her. Anyway, I blacked out. Wake up with police all over. And that's when they decided to give you the death sentence. I couldn't believe it. That woman, she betrayed me. That man, Terry Fallis, he killed her. He threw her off the bridge. He threw my beloved sister into the roaring river, 40 feet below. These 5 years, all I wonder is, why? 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 Why did she lie? That's all I want to know. Sorry, I skipped that. So that's why you called for her. You wanted to hear the truth from Valerie herself. Yes, but I forget what she looked like. So I tell her to wear a scarf. I don't. I want to hurt her. Just ask why. Why? Why did you lie? Why did you betray me? I want to hear answer come from her mouth. That's all. So that's why. That's why you made a crazy escape like that. Just one thing, Zebra Boy. My senses are tingling all over. What do you think you are, Spider-Man? Tell me, Mr. Fallis. Where is it? Huh? Where's what? Come on now, kitten. The ransom of a $2 million diamond. Remember that now? Did you give it back to Pops? Did the police take it? I don't know. Huh? You don't know? No, really, I don't know. It's gone with Dahlia. With Dahlia? That day, on the bridge, Dahlia put it in backpack. Now gone with Dahlia. Gone. Forever. Into Eagle River. It disappeared with Dahlia, huh? Wait a minute. Oh, this is from the bailiff. I was about to go ballless, but anyways. You can come back now. We're about ready to go. Mr. Fallis, just one more question. When you said with Dahlia, do you mean the diamond is still missing? Along with the body of Dahlia Hawthorne? Never found her. My sweet Dahlia. They never found her? Swallowed by a river. Gone. Dahlia. My teen angel. Your teen angel? How old was she anyway? Just 14. 14? I guess you were robbing cradles before diamonds. She plans a fake kidnapping and disappears into the river with a rock worth 2 mil. Man, oh man, angels these days. Teen angels these days, actually. Flawless takes the fall and gets a one-way ticket to death row. Is Dahlia Hawthorne an angel? Or is she really a... It's time, kitten. It looks like we have a few more aces up our sleeve now. You bet. And so we get another piece of evidence. The $2 million pink diamond. And yes, it looks pink or magenta, however you want to see it that way. The training wheels come off now, Mia. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. That's one of my rules. Remember it. Alright, here we go. Let the trial reconvene. Now then, let's continue with the trial of Mr. Terry Flawless. Witness, are you feeling better? Yes, Your Honor. I'll try my best. You're a brave young lady. Not this again. I can understand a defense lawyer wanting to get her client off the hook. However, to try to pin the crime on an innocent student is... What are you talking about? My witness is not the person on trial here. She's an innocent bystander who witnessed a violent crime. That's all. What possible reason would a girl like this have for murdering a policewoman? It's certainly hard to imagine this woman as a murderer. All will be revealed, everyone. All will be revealed. Her motive, huh? I figured that's what I had to establish next. Well, Miss Faye, do you have any evidence of a motive? Yes, of course. I think. You're still acting as tame as a kitten. Mr. Armando? Listen, a lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. Smiling on the outside while your guts are twisted in knots is the mark of a pro. Maybe so, but I wish you would quit grinning at me like that. Excuse me, may I speak? Mr. Judge? Of course. Mr. Judge is ready anytime you like. I'd like to say something. Some people here are suspicious of me, right? That's why I at least wanted you. Oops, sorry, I think y'all might have heard my chair. Sorry about that. I at least wanted you, Mr. Judge, to know that it's not true. I see. You're such an honest and upstanding young lady. It looks like this witness is a real professional. What do you mean? Look at that 100-watt smile. Just when things are darkest for her, click, she lights right up. Very well then, let's hear what the witness has to say. Alright, next testimony, Melissa Foster's history. Here we go. I was out of the country until the year before last. Until I entered college, I had never ever even been to Eagle Mountain before. And I certainly don't have any reason for wanting to hurt a police officer. Holding a grudge and killing the officer who testified against you 5 years ago. Or kidnapping a poor girl. I just think the defendant is a terrible, horrible monster. Out of the country, eh? Precisely. Furthermore, she has no possible motive for committing murder. Indeed. You're up to bat, kitten. Sharpen those claws and put on your best smile. You bet. Somehow I have to tie her to this case. Alright, here we go. On the part where it says that she, quote, she was out of the country, I'm gonna press on that. So, what country where are you living in? We were all living abroad, but after my parents were killed, it was a brutal civil war. She had to try to make her way back home alone. I lost everything. I didn't even have any personal ID. What kind of sob story is this? What do I do? Should I press her for more details? Yes. Witness, answer my question. I'll even repeat it for you. What country were you in? Your Honor, this line of questioning is childish. What country was she was in, and how many languages she may speak are irrelevant here. What we're here to evaluate is whether this witness has any connection to this case. I lived abroad ever since I was a little girl. That's why I could never have known Mr. Follis or Detective Hawthorne. Yes, I think we've established that point. Yes, indeed. Well then, shall we add what you just stated to the official testimony? Yes, please, Mr. Judge. New testimony. Naturally, I didn't know either the victim or the defendant. Until I entered the college, no, not that one. And I certainly don't have a reason for... Here it is, holding a grudge. Let's press on that. A grudge? Well, the police a woman's testimony was crucial, wasn't it? Crucial in getting the defendant sentenced to death. Yes, and that's precisely why he harbored such deep anger against her. So much anger that he forgot his own guilt. My client has always maintained that he's innocent of those charges. He seems rather forgetful. Your client, I mean. How did he know that? I mean, how did she know that? Not only did he forget about what he did, but he forgot the poor police woman as well. What do you mean by that? Your client. He forgot what the detective looked like, right? It's too bad for her that he didn't forget about her testimony as well. Well, she's right about that. Mr. Follis is kind of forgetful. Let's press more on that. You said he forgot what the detective looked like. What did you mean by that? Well, he couldn't tell who she was without some kind of identification, right? Quite right. That's why the victim was wearing a scarf as identification. Why, if I had been wearing a white scarf that day, then he probably would have tried to kill me. That's true. He's clearly a bitter man. This is bad. Mr. Follis's reputation just keeps getting worse and worse. Sometimes it's best not to poke too deep. What should I do with the last statement? Well... Let's have it added to her testimony. Your Honor, what a witness just said now was tremendously important. I'd like to add it to the official testimony. The prosecution has no objection. After all, the defendant is a killer and mentally unbalanced one at that. That testimony only helps to further prove that point. No, that's not why I... Enough. Witness, if you would. My pleasure, Mr. Judge. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. A white scarf, you say? Let's present that. Witness, I want you to look at this picture you took. It's hard to see in the photo, but look at the scarf the victim wore as identification. Ah, you're talking about the scarf right here, right? Eh? Yes, that's it. The scarf the policewoman was wearing. I've got her now. Just don't mess up. But that's strange. In your testimony, you stated the following. I guess I'm lucky I wasn't wearing a white scarf. White? This is the scarf you identified as belonging to the victim. But it clearly doesn't look white to me. Oh? Well, it was foggy that day, and it wasn't, it was raining as well. It's not surprising that she mistook it for white. Sorry, but not this time. The witness just confirmed that this was the victim's scarf. Yes, but what's the significance? It's true that the scarf doesn't look white, but there's only one explanation for this mix-up. The reason why the witness thought the scarf was white is the victim's note. Because remember what it said. Wear white scarf for identification. So, booyah! Witness, have you ever seen this note? Note? No, never. It's top secret evidence. There's no reason that you would have. About that. I wonder about that. What do you mean? This note shows Mr. Fawless's instructions to the victim regarding their meeting. It says, wear white scarf for identification. White scarf? Witness, you knew what this note said. There's no other possible reason for you to mistake the scarf's color. Well, Miss Foster? No! Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, I'm waiting for an explanation. I'm quite sure that this note wasn't leaked to the public. And yet, this witness knew exactly what the note said. At the time of the murder, the number of people that knew were quite limited. Terry Fawless is one. The person who wrote the note is Valerie Hawthorne is another. And finally, one more person. Did you say one more person? That's right. A person that no one would have suspected. Have you figured it out, kitten? Yep. The third person that knew the contents of the note was... Dahlia Hawthorne. And that person is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? I've never heard that name before. Look at the victim's note. This is what it says. Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time. That is her name right there. What's this? So who is this person? This Dahlia Hawthorne? Miss Fay must be desperate if she's trying to bring the dead back to life. The dead? Dahlia Hawthorne was the victim's deceased younger sister. She was killed in a crime 5 years ago. Killed in a crime? You don't mean... Yes, she was kidnapped and killed by Terry Fallis. You said she was killed, but was she really? What are you implying? Of course people thought she had died 5 years ago, when she fell off the Dusky Bridge and was lost in Eagle River. However, her corpse was never found. She was declared legally dead 5 years ago. As far as the law is concerned, Dahlia Hawthorne is officially dead. But the fact remains that her body was never recovered. Dahlia Hawthorne was 14 years old 5 years ago. If she were still alive, she would be 19 now. Melissa Foster? I believe that's the same age you are. Even you couldn't, Miss Fay. You're not saying... Yes, it is true. But I am. That's precisely what I'm saying. This witness before us is the girl that was kidnapped and killed 5 years ago. This girl is in fact Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Nice work. That was like tossing a grenade into a 3-alarm fire. But unless you can tie all the loose ends together, you're nothing but a hit-and-run arsonist. I understand. If I can expose her true nature, I can turn this whole case on its head. Now's my chance to make Mr. Edgeworth squirm. Okay, that's a lot of Witness, just who are you anyway? I didn't think it comes to this. That's enough. You don't have to say any more, witness. Yes, I understand. What? Mr. Edgeworth, explain yourself. Your Honor, I have an admission to make. I honestly never thought that the defense would pursue this matter. The matter this far. You don't mean... Yes, the prosecutor's office isn't filled with fools, you know. Naturally, we conducted full background checks on all our witnesses. What did he say? It looks like the kid knew. He knew her true identity from the get-go. No way! But then, why? If he hadn't revealed her secret, he wasn't going to say anything about it. All he wanted was her testimony. So he made a little trade. Let me introduce you to the victim's younger sister, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. But, I thought she died 5 years ago. We thought so as well. But, well, as you can see... Why? Why did she hide her identity for 5 years? That has nothing to do with the current case. She was merely an accidental witness to a crime. Accidental? I don't believe that for a minute. For the last 5 years, she's been playing the role of victim. And now we find her acting suspiciously at another murder scene. Really, Miss Fay, your strategy is clearly obvious. You're trying to pin your client's crime on an innocent witness in order to win. At any cost. How dare you! Please, let us take a moment to think. 5 years ago, this girl was kidnapped and nearly killed. But even worse than that, 5 years later, Dahlia Hawthorne lost something much more precious. Her big sister. Miss Fay must be insane to even suggest that she murdered her. Like I said, all will be revealed. I'm inclined to agree with the prosecutor's logic. Miss Faye, do you have any evidence to back up your assertion? What possible reason would this witness have for killing her beloved sister? Well, you see, I thought I was winning, but somehow he turned it around on me. I think you need a little push in the right direction, kitten. The defense is prepared to present evidence supporting our claim. That wasn't me. It was this guy, this crazy coffee addict. I think we've heard enough empty threats from you, old man. How old was he at the time? 27. Dude! Edgeworth, he's 7 years older than you. Both of y'all are in your 20s. So don't call him old. Because think about it. Even little kids, like 5 years old, 5, 6, or 7 years old, will call a teenager an old person. Oh, yeah. What makes you think they're empty, boy? Because your protege looks like she's sweating bullets. I'm sweating bullets? Well, I can see one right there. You think you're in a tough spot, huh? Of course, aren't I? No. You've just arrived at the moment of truth. That's all. Whether you win or lose, that's up to you. Up to me? The rashness of youth, how charming. You're a youth too! This is coming from someone younger than me. Now then, let's not waste any more time. Miss Faye, what motive would this witness have for murdering her own sister, Valerie Hawthorne? Alright. Let's present the victim's note here. Let's read it again. Oh, well. I think this was it, right? The story starts after Terry Fallis escaped. He called Valerie and told her what he called Valerie and told her he wanted to meet. This is the note she left. It says, "Talk to Dahlia. Tell her this time the whole truth must come out." Valerie Hawthorne gave Dahlia a warning. She told her she was going to reveal the whole. She told her she was going to reveal to the world the whole truth. The whole truth? There was a dangerously important secret between Valerie and Dahlia. That's the reason Dahlia felt she had to kill Valerie, to keep her mouth shut permanently. A terrific story, Miss Faye, if you like fiction, that is. Enlighten the court, Miss Faye. What was the secret that was so important? Where's your evidence? Dahlia and Valerie Hawthorne and Terry Fallis? There's only one important secret that connects them all. Oh, yes. I know this secret. Your Honor, the defense would like to request further testimony. What testimony? Regarding the kidnapping 5 years ago, we believe it will explain a lot of things, such as the nature of the important secret between the Hawthorne sisters. Very well. I'll grant you your request for further testimony. I know it will be painful for you, but can enlighten us once more. My little maple leaf. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'll try, Mr. Judge. Putting on the old charm one more time, Dahlia, but this will be the last time you hide behind your womanly wiles. I think that's how it's pronounced. All right, final testimony. 5 years ago. But 5 years ago, I was kidnapped by Mr. Fallis. The ransom price was a raw diamond. My sister Valerie brought it to the bridge. After she made the exchange, she shot Mr. Fallis in the arm. That's when Mr. Fallis tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind. I survived, but I was afraid I might be kidnapped again for my family's money. So I decided to change my identity and start a new life. That's when Mr. Fallis tried to kill me by shoving me off the bridge from behind, you say. About that. The kidnapping left her emotionally scarred. With her sister's help, she left the Hawthorne family and started all over again. And we're to believe after all that, she murdered her sister? Preposterous. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor? As you've heard, the witness is still traumatized from the kidnapping. I'll ask you again to be extremely gentle in your cross-examination. Oh, no. I ain't gonna do that. Mr. Edgeworth got the jump on me again. If we're not allowed to fight, then let's twist some arms. Listen up. We've still got that info. That ace up our sleeve. What info? Come on, kitten. Don't say you've forgotten already. The fact that the kidnapping 5 years ago was staged. That's right. It was a fake kidnapping. Terry Fallis told us in the lobby. I do anything she says. Anything Dahlia says. What you're saying is that the kidnapping 5 years ago was planned by, yeah, me and Dahlia and Valerie too. Yes, that's it. The fake kidnapping is your best shot, Mia. That's her secret. All right, so as I said, that part where it says the whole pushing from behind, let's present something. Let's see, where is it? No, not that one. That's when Mr. Fallis, here it is, tried to shove me off the bridge from behind. Let's present the map. You say that Mr. Fallis pushed you into the Eagle River. However, that's hard to believe. But it's true. I felt a push on my back. I'm certain of it. It was Mr. Fallis. I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't clear enough. I shouldn't have said, that's hard to believe. I should have said, that's impossible. Impossible? I asked that the court recall the condition of the Dusky Bridge now and 5 years ago. That bridge hasn't changed one bit in these last 5 years. If someone had pushed you from behind as you have claimed, instead of being carried away by the river, you would have been smashed by the bedrock below. A most certain death. Do you understand now, Dahlia Hawthorne? The very notion that my client pushed you from behind is impossible. Well, yeah, that is true. Hold on one second. Let's go back to the Dusky Bridge map. Have a look-see. Switch. So yeah. Dahlia said she was pushed from behind. If she would have, if that were to happen, she would have fallen on the rock instead of the water. But she fell to on the side of the bridge and into to that river. So if she claims that they would have pushed, she was pushed from behind, she would have died right there on that rock. Well, on solid rock. All right. Let's go back. Your Honor, this event occurred 5 years ago. Why? For all we know, the water level in the river may have been higher back then. But it's 40 feet from the bridge to the river. A small change in the water level wouldn't have made a difference. You're right. If the events occurred just as the witness had testified, then the defendant couldn't have pushed the witness into the river. Young lady, what is the meaning of this? You see, Just a moment, Your Honor. It's true that the witness testified that the defendant pushed her into the river. However, she never stated that she fell from the back end of the bridge. What do you mean? After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Fallis panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. If that's true, she would have fallen into the river. Well, Miss Hawthorne, is Mr. Edgeworth's explanation correct? Now that you mentioned it, I do remember now when I fell off the bridge. My skirt got caught on one of the bridge's side wires. You can't be serious! Order! Order in the court! It seems Miss Faye's assault has finally reached its conclusion. Not now, Mia. There's no time to retreat. Unfortunately for you, this is just the start of Miss Faye's assault. What? I believe your reasoning went something like this, Mr. Edgeworth. After being shot in the arm, it's plausible that Mr. Fallis panicked. Therefore, he could have unwittingly pushed her off the side of the bridge. However, once again, I'm forced to say that's impossible. Ridiculous! What's so impossible about it? Because your flawed logic contradicts the court records. By that he means the victim's note. I'm sorry, the witnesses. Wait. I think I pushed the wrong one, didn't I? Yes, I did. Yeah, I did the wrong one. It's a fatal error, alright. Unfortunately, the error is yours, not mine. Yeah, wrong one. Thankfully, the penalty wasn't so severe. Ouchie. Come on, Maya, take your time. I believe your reasoning went something like this. Skip that. Sorry about that. Okay. You know what? Just as an in case, I wonder if I can pause it. Oh no, I can't. I can't pause it. This can't be good. I can't pause it. No way. This is the right one. So here we go. Witness's photo. Your Honor, all of the answers are right here in this photo. Take a look at the wires supporting both sides of the bridge. They extend up to about 5 feet off the ground. It would be impossible to push someone off from there. No! But let's remember the size and strength of the defendant. Wires like this wouldn't be a problem for him. He could have easily picked up a 14-year-old girl and thrown her over. Oh, come on, seriously. So young and already so forgetful, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Follis had been shot in the arm. And more importantly, Valerie Hawthorne had her gun trained on him at point-blank range. So, Mr. Follis throwing the witness off the bridge, that is clearly impossible. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? Dahlia Hawthorne, you jumped into Eagle River intentionally. What? What is this? And why did I hear a roar for? Indeed. What do you mean by such a ridiculous remark? Yes, it's ridiculous. My sister was there to help me. She had her gun and handcuffs. She could have saved me. Jumping into a raging river like that would have been suicide. Perhaps, but still, that's exactly what you did. You were probably confident that you could handle the swift current. But even more so, the witness had a much more compelling reason for jumping into the river. Oh, then what is it? What's so important that she'd want to jump into the river? The witness is still alive. This fact alone explains everything. This is why she risked life by jumping into the rapids of the Eagle River. The diamond. 5 years ago, something else disappeared along with Dahlia that day. The item that Valerie brought up to the mountain with her. The $2 million diamond. No, it can't be. Yes, Dahlia had it all planned from the beginning. Of the $2 million, she was going to keep it all for herself. She forced Mr. Follis to help her fake the kidnapping. At the last minute, she betrayed him and threw herself into the river, with the ransom tucked away safely in her backpack. Why, that's simply ridiculous! Order! Order! Your Honor, 5 years ago, the witness was only 14 years old. Do you really think a 14-year-old is capable of such a demonic plan? This woman is a demon. And there was one more person who helped make a demon out of her. Her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. You mean the victim was involved in the kidnapping plot as well? But she was a detective then. You're saying she participated in her sister's kidnapping? Precisely. I'm sure that it weighed heavily on her conscience for the past 5 years. This is the sole reason behind the victim's murder. What do you mean by that? On the day of the murder, after receiving the phone call from Mr. Follis, Valerie called her sister Dahlia, and then she told her what she was planning to do. Planning to do? She was going to tell the whole truth, as she wrote in her note. That is what sealed Valerie Hawthorne's fate. That is why you hatched your demonic plan to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. A plan that would ensure neither of your accomplices to the kidnapping would talk. And that is why you killed your sister Valerie Hawthorne. Who is that? Laughing at a time like this? Forgive me. It's just hilarious. Witness? Is that you? You amuse me, woman. Miss Mia Fey. You can certainly wave an exciting tale. Naturally, you have the evidence to back it up, don't you? Evidence? Evidence that I planned the kidnapping, of course. That at 14 I plotted with Mr. Fawless and my sister. Well, and one more thing. What happened to the $2 million diamond? If you can't provide evidence to at least show that. Well, Miss Fey, I don't know. What a joke. You, Miss Fey, are stupid. Are you stupid or something? Stupid is as stupid does. How can I prove a fake kidnapping that happened 5 years ago? I don't even have a decisive proof of Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Excuse me. Well, it seems that we've come to the end. To be honest, the witness's behavior does raise certain suspicions. However, I am forced to reject the assertions made by the defense. Of course you are. Is this it? Is it really over? That girl has made a fool of me and there's nothing I can do about it. Without evidence, the trial is over? Who decided that? Mr. Armando? Come on now, kitten. Haven't you figured it out that you can make your own rules? For example, even if there's no evidence, there's still testimony. Testimony? On the day in question, Dahlia Hawthorne murdered her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. She hid her body in the trunk of Mr. Fawless' stolen car and then went to meet with him. Disguised as her sister, Valerie Hawthorne. That's what you think, right? Yes, that's right. In that case, there's only one answer, right? There's only one person left who can testify about Valerie Hawthorne's murder. Since there's no proof, there's only one thing left to do. Who is this one person who can testify to that demon woman's crimes? There's only one person, and that is Terry Fawless. Your Honor, the defense wishes to call a new witness. A new witness? Yes, we would like to hear the testimony of Terry Fawless. The defendant? There's only one person that can shed any further light on this situation. Only one person that knows what Dahlia's role in the kidnapping was. Only one person that can say whether the person in the photo is Valerie, or whether it was in fact her younger sister Dahlia, disguised as her. There's only one person who could solve this riddle once and for all, and that person is Terry Fawless. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what is your take on this? Why not? The prosecution has no objection. Very well. Bailiff, bring the defendant to the witness stand. This is my last chance, Mr. Fawless. My last chance to establish the Dahlia's guilt. You're all I have left. Alright. Defendant, you've heard everything that's been set up to this point, yes? I don't believe it. No way! Dahlia died 5 years ago. Valerie betrayed me. Mr. Fawless, I don't know what she said to you 5 years ago, but one thing is clear. Dahlia is very much alive, and you were used for $2 million. That's not true. Mr. Follis, there's only one question I want the answer to. 2 days ago on the Dusky Bridge, who did you meet? Was it Valerie Hawthorne or was it Dahlia Hawthorne? Dahlia, did you betray me? 5 years ago, she promised never ever betray each other. Terry. Dahlia? It's true? You are alive? You don't trust me anymore? That makes me sad. Tell the truth. The real truth. I believed in you. I shouldn't need to say it. You should already know. But there is one thing I will say. My life is in your hands right now, Terry. Dahlia? I will allow Mr. Follis to testify once and once only. Well then, Mr. Follis, yours will be the final testimony in this trial. Witness? I'm sorry, I apologize. Water, please. Can't talk. Need water. Oh well, I'll guess it'll have to be my coffee instead. At least it'll match the way he's probably feeling right now. Darker and bitter than Hiffle itself. Alright, final testimony of the episode. Who Terry Follis saw. Here we go. That day, 4 p.m., I stopped the car. I was in front of Bridge. She wasn't there, so I waited on Bridge. I watched my car from Bridge. I never put no body in that car. Finally, one woman came. She stood for front of me. We talked. Then she left. That was Valerie, not my Dahlia. I watched my car from Bridge, huh? Mr. Follis, you're covering for her? Do you think she would do the same? That's enough, Miss Faye. His last statement was a fitting way to end the final testimony of the trial. Well then, Miss Faye, please proceed with your cross-examination. Is this how you want it to end, Mr. Follis? Another guilty verdict to go along with your death sentence? There's only one person who can stop it. You, kitten. I think. Alright, here we go. So, let me head to... I watched my car from the bridge. Here it is. And I'm going to present the witness's photo here. We'll present it, actually. So, when you got to the bridge, no one had arrived, huh? So you waited on the bridge. You're sure of that? Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure, huh? Well then, I'm sure too. Mr. Follis, I'm sure that you're lying. Huh? What? Oh, I would love to hear your rationale on this, Miss Faye. You want to know who arrived at the bridge first? Just look at this photo. It's perfectly clear. Obviously, the person that came first would be the one at the end of the bridge, right? But that's the victim at the end of the bridge. Precisely my point. In other words, Mr. Follis, you must have arrived at the bridge after she did. Um, Mr. Fallis, please don't get so worked up. We just, I want the truth. I got there around 4 o'clock. It's true. I, I had somewhere to go. A special place. Did you go to this special place before you went to the bridge? Actually, yeah. It's an old temple about 15 minutes from the bridge. 5 years ago, me and Dahlia, we promised each other. We swore we wouldn't betray each other. She brought a memento to represent our love. A memento? 5 years ago, I hid it under the base of a tree there. It's a special memory for me. This is it. This is what I went to get. This little bottle and a necklace is your memento? It's quite charming, but it looks empty. Your Honor, you heard what my client said. He arrived at the scene at 4 o'clock. But he then left his car unattended and walked away. He was gone for approximately 30 minutes. With that much time, Dahlia Hawthorne could have easily hidden the body in the trunk of his car. No! Indeed, there certainly was enough time for it. I've still got a chance. Mr. Fallis, there's no mistaking it. Huh? Mr. Fallis? That's enough. Please. Witness? I promised her 5 years ago. If it ever happens that we can't trust each other no more, then we're supposed to drink bottle. No! Stop the trial, Your Honor. We need a recess. I was stupid. Couldn't keep promise. So I did it. I drank this. No! We are so close. Just a little more. I was going to prove your innocence. No. Don't want that. Don't trust self. Maybe kill again. Kill sweet Dahlia again. Mr. Fallis! Mr. Armando. Thanks for the coffee. Mr. Fallis! And so my first trial ended. Suddenly and tragically. It ended with no winners, only losers. I ended up with a wound that cut so deep into my soul, I thought it'd never heal. I'm sure it was the same for the young prosecutor as well. But one person, the true criminal, Dahlia Hawthorne, she left the courtroom with a secret smile on her demonically sweet face. Unforgivable. That witch. Mr. Armando? We were so close to the truth. It was right there in front of us. You were just a little too soft, kitten. It's my fault! It's all my fault that Mr. Fallis killed himself. Don't cry, kitten. You're going to make my coffee all salty. I knew it. Knew I wasn't cut out for this. Mia. Don't you get it? You can't cry yet. The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Mr. Armando. No matter how tough the case, no matter how bitter the memories, they always fade over time. Then you file them away and eventually forget them. One year later, in this very same courthouse, I myself got wrapped up in that case. Only after that did Dahlia Hawthorne get put on trial for her crimes. The very verdict that was ultimately handed down to her was guilty, of course. Naturally, when the verdict was read, she had a perfect angelic smile on her face. It was finally all over. At least, that's what I thought at the time. Unfortunately, I couldn't have been more wrong. It's been 5 years now, but now something has happened that's made me remember all this. There we go. That ends Turnabout Beginnings. Next time we meet, it's the final chapter of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations with the episode Bridge to the Turnabout. The final case of the game and the final case of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. So, until then everyone, take care and God bless. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and share with all your family and friends. If you're enjoying my content, consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to click that bell to receive notifications for new videos. Take care, and God bless.